Kind of play a second, third man. Yeah, you said in chat, don't try to be a hero. I don't think it's overwhelming that you're trying to be a hero, but we almost like if you're on my RLCS team and I'm coaching you live, what I would call this, it looks like you lost focus. You just lost. You were playing a play style that was working. A trigger happened, aka you getting scored on. You lost focus and you changed, and you just needed to stay consistent. Dyer, congratulations. I believe you said in chat that you're 2 wins away. Love it. And I also know that 2 games away from GC again. You're pretty much at GC. It's just closing out those games. I'm telling you, cutoff ranks are always a mental battle, not an actual gameplay battle. On a bit of a tear after taking a break from comp, gone from C2 Div 4 to C3 Div 4 in 2 days. That's really awesome, man. I also know that you play, for the most part, pretty casually, so that's pretty awesome. It's funny, like, sometimes when you care less about something, you play better. So we got Dyer. This is 2 games away from GC. Champ 3, pretty much Grand Champ 1. Probably my approach to this, Dyer, because you're on a pretty big win streak. I'm probably going to build on this, man, right? Like, think about my coaching logic. Like, if you're on a win streak, you know, pretty much jumping a whole rank in 2 days, why would I come in here with a heavy hand and change what you're doing? That's not what's going to help you reach your goal. So it's probably going to be like highlighting things that you're doing well and maybe try to build on that. It's good. Good. I mean, both these goals don't really have any things to break down, right? Like, you just won your challenge. That's simple. I'm gonna probably let this play a little bit. Good save. Good clear. I also think these opponents are overcommitting. Good fake. Okay, so challenges positive. We're playing the ball well. We're faking well. Positioning very much in the midfield. Cutting the midfield. Positioning in the midfield. Playing patient. Taking smart challenges. That's fine. That's your ball. Or its teammates' ball. Like, but I'm fine with your decision right there. Good beat on the player. Good beat on the player. So all of these goals are stemming from us baiting and beating, taking a good challenge. Like, we have some cut rotation, but I would say, like, rotation is pretty traditional. Like, we're not overly risky. We're not overly cutting. We're playing a midfield as a third. We're playing a back post, right? Like, pretty traditional. I don't know if it's almost like I see like we have a very traditional rotation, good positioning. We're taking smart challenges. We're not being overly aggressive, but we're also not being overly passive either. And that's kind of like how I see this game going, this play style. That's fine. Kickoff goal. We're going to get another kickoff goal. We'll see what breaks down. I typically don't like to mess with kickoff unless it's a glaring problem. Nice try. I mean, that was a... We shouldn't be getting scored on right there. This was a pretty effective play. Pretty effective. Beat 1 into ball control, into beat 2. Didn't beat the 3rd, but demoed the 2nd. Like, I would say this was pretty efficient. It's good cut. I feel like this replay, like, again, this is very fine-tuned for Dyer's situation with, like, the build mindset. You're playing smart. Like I said, you're just playing smart. And you're beating players. The beating players is probably the biggest thing. And I know we've talked about that in the past, so good job. Nice try. We almost beat right there. It's fine. All right, these next 2 goals are going to be big. Nice try. What's going to break down? Yeah, I started noticing this. Observation. But we got scored on twice right here. And after we got scored on twice, or not like you getting scored on twice, but like your team, our demeanor changed a bit, Dyer. And you started pushing out a little bit more risky. Like, you started the game like pretty traditional. I mentioned before, like safe third man, safe goal line, beating players, good 50s, good boost management, good speed. Like a very, very traditional play style. It wasn't necessarily like highlighting your teammates and they were like doing stuff with the ball, but you were kind of this pick up the pieces type of player and de-risking the situation altogether because your teammates aren't doing a ton of stuff with the ball. But then we got scored on and we started like pushing out a little bit more. So like breaking out of that traditional mindset. Again, this is tough. I'm trying to like build on to recent progress, right? And we started pushing out, which is untraditional, non-traditional, which puts pressure on teammates a little bit more. And I'm going to show you these moments. And I don't know if I'm going to like riff on this, but we changed our decision making. That was good. But even like, I mean, this was good. I don't necessarily want to change this, but like this is like non-traditional, right? Like traditional, rotate back. Non-traditional, play an outlet, play a passing extension. I'm fine with this for player development, but like it's starting to happen. And then we push forward for another outlet, which then puts pressure on your third. This was like non-existent in the earlier half of this game. We play this. This is good. And then we kind of double dip right there. That's fine. And it's like now, I really wish we beat that player up the wall. But now we're playing another outlet, right? Which, again, like more meta play style. Yes, play outlet. The negatives of it, it puts pressures on teammates to perform. Now we do that. Now that happens. Again, putting pressure on second, third man. It's almost like you kind of shifted to this outlet pass, first man warrior. Another missed challenge. That was good. Then we push out for this? You're just like, oh, my teammates got it. Got your boost stolen. I mean, again, like, I'm more so highlighting the change in play style. This was good. Love the mechanics right here. And then we pushed a corner with low boost. Like, we're nowhere near this play, yet we can become a cut and extension. Puts pressure on teammate. Teammate gets scored on. So, like, the other times, it wasn't a negative. Now this is a negative. And I feel like if you could see what I'm talking about, then I could describe like the play style for you. What I would try to make very consistent and a double. Now we're pushing forward again. Now we're losing. Now pressure on teammates. Now we're super wide and balls in our net. Like, so like it's more of, I almost want to have this consistency support highlight play style where you're highlighting your teammates if they're good, but you're supporting your teammates if you're bad, and you're doing it all through consistency. Very, very traditional play style with goal line, right? We'll cover defense first. Goal line, backboard, midfield. You know the deal. You've been submitting replays here. You could extend for boost control. I'm fine with it, brother. It's like that's how you should rotate on defense, but maybe less of these extensions to boost and more of these curls, less of these outlet passes and more rotations across to cover, to demo. I think the common characteristic is less outlets, less extensions. I think that will be very helpful, because like when you play an extension, you're putting trust in a teammate to win their challenge, trust in a teammate to pass the ball, which means they have awareness, and then you're also putting pressure on them to make all those decisions. Kind of your defensive stuff challenges, beat players, 50 players, and boom the ball out. I mean, you could look for your ball control, but it's like, it's a very simple traditional defensive rotation, and in terms of playing the ball, it's very beat, 50, or boom. Like, just very straightforward. And the reason that's straightforward, it's easily readable for your opponents. Like, if you just boom the ball, it's very clear what your not opponents, your teammates. If you boom the ball, it's very clear what your teammates need to do, right? If you 50, that's readable. If your 50s are good, that's readable. If you beat a player, it's readable. So all of this is to kind of de-risk or highlight, but also be very readable for teammates. And then on offense, it's just create your offense, shoot, whatever, steal, boost, rotate back. And it's less cuts and less extensions. And I don't know if you're here for Nalia's replay, but I gave like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. You can play cuts or extensions, but less often. What happened, you had a 3-goal lead, you got scored on twice pretty quickly, and then all of a sudden you started making up for that with all these outlets and extension. You were getting riskier, which then compounded the issue. And my kind of goal with this is, I said support or highlight or de-risk. Like, let's just close out these games, get Grand Champ 1, maintain Grand Champ 1, and then start to build. Notice I didn't talk about mechanics. I didn't talk about ball control. It's a lot of just very straightforward, traditional game sense. And try to keep it the full 5 minutes. Try not to detour. That was good. But now, like, you see your teammates in a 3-on-1, and it's like, you can get back right now, but it's bam, 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 low boost, he'll get corner. But like, the decision that it was okay, I made my pass, and then you're like, oh, immediately play forward. But it's like, your homie, your teammates right behind you. And like, let's keep the same decision-making process. Okay, make your pass, but let's rotate back, play a safe third. I want to like maintain this decision making, like maintain all the good stuff about this, but like have the back end of the decision kind of rooted in this safe kind of decision making. And I know we need to score a goal, and that's why maybe you playing risky before was, I don't know, we just shifted play style, but like now playing risky is worth it because you need to score a goal. Kind of play a second, third man. Yeah, you said in chat, don't try to be a hero. I don't think it's overwhelming that you're trying to be a hero, but we almost like if you're on my RLCS team and I'm coaching you live, what I would call this, it looks like you lost focus. You just lost, you were playing a play style that was working. A trigger happened, aka you getting scored on, you lost focus and you changed. And you just needed to stay consistent.